GearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
So, Fat Man.
Sleazy.
So now that you're back and refreshed from your wonderful vacation.
Yeah, vacation.
We're calling it that.
Driving 16 hours in a day twice.
Let's talk about that on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
I'm Rob Burgundy.
Yeah, fuck you. You walked right into my promo. Or my intro.
Well, you cut me off, so my legs were shaking so bad. No, legit. My legs were shaking so bad from driving 16 hours, both days when I got to Minnesota and when I got back home. Like I was like, I'm that tired. My legs were shaking so bad.
Fucking lightweight over here. Welcome everyone to another episode of the wrestling.
And the longest he's driven is like 6 hours a day.
What the fuck are you talking about? First of all,
Toronto to New Orleans.
Yeah, I've probably driven more than you over the course of a single day.
No, you have not.
I very likely disagree with that.
I've driven 24 hours straight once.
Because you're an idiot. That's why.
So I'm going to say, no, I highly doubt you have. I win. Where's my money?
Okay, I've driven more in 2 days than you have. I can say that.
I highly doubt that.
I'm pretty sure I've done that, yeah.
Longest. 2 days.
40 hours.
Oh, we're tied. Okay.
It wasn't the length it was because we did more of a loop, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not doing that ever again.
No, whose fault?
By the way, don't drive 16 hours with a broken neck, and then don't do it twice.
Well, it's like my dad sat there and drove to Florida, and then was there planning on staying a weekend, and came back 2 days later. And he, mind you, is 72 years old, and he used to drive for a living, and he is still trying to recover from that to this day. I was like, Dad, you're not as young as you used to be. You can't do that all the time you used to. He used to drive first night, but
my dad, they drive to Arizona every winter, and it takes about 3 days. I'm like, I can do that in 2. No, I don't want to do that in 2.
Yeah, right.
Like I was telling him on the way back, we stopped a little bit more to stretch because on the way there we kind of just wanted to get there. Way back, we stopped a little more to stretch, but man, it probably took Saturday morning. Actually, Sunday morning was probably when I actually felt okay.
When we went on our honeymoon, we left here in Pennsylvania at I want to say 5 o'clock, and Kim drove straight through the night to Jacksonville. And in Jacksonville, I took over. But she went from Gettysburg, PA to Jacksonville all the way through the night. Got there about 7 a.m. the next day. And I drove from Jacksonville to Fort Myers.
Yeah. I mean, I even looked at getting a hotel on the way there, but we woke up really early yesterday morning. And by the time we would have got to the hotel, it was 2 p.m. I'm like, I can go. Let's just go home. Like, there's no point in wasting money.
Oh, yeah.
And this is why he's sitting there with a Legend of Zelda blanket on.
He's like,
he's bundled up like a,
He's supporting the black and gold. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well,
good segue, but also this blanket has been on like the last 4 episodes, so I know how you've been.
In rehab, obviously.
Having his eyes, evidently.
That's also true. So today we're going to actually talk a little bit about NXT. There's the main rumor that's been out there is that basically they're doing a rebrand again. They're getting rid of the 2.0 gimmick. There's a rumored picture of the logo that's been floating around. There's all sorts of different things coming out of it.
Some stuff that went down tonight as well.
Was there?
Yep.
So I don't watch the product. So what the hell do I know?
True story, bro.
But we wanted to talk a little bit about, the past, the present, and what the future looks like for NXT. I guess let's start a little bit about why NXT exists in the first place. So obviously NXT, before it was NXT, the actual wrestling show, it was a game show, and it was ridiculous. It was stupid. They had challenges, and it wasn't really about, it was wrestling adjacent. And then they decided to rebrand FCW, Florida Championship Wrestling, which was WWE's actual developmental at the time, into NXT. And when that happened, they had a little, I don't remember what it was. It was on Hulu, right?
No, it started on Sci-Fi.
Was it Sci-Fi first?
Yeah, it was Sci-Fi first.
Okay, so it went from Sci-Fi then to Hulu, and then it went on the network.
I don't think it was on Sci-Fi.
I don't remember myself, so forgive me.
I think it was only on Hulu. I was thinking it was on Hulu.
Network? It was only the network, maybe?
It was
went to
definitely on
the
Hulu at one point.
I think it was on Hulu, and then it went to the network
Thursday,
and
5
Hulu.
o'clock on Wednesday nights.
You might be right. I don't remember
Which was
being on Sci-Fi.
It was on. It might have been on Sci-Fi when it was still the game show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Actually, I don't actually see when it was on there.
Maybe it was just a network that I thought.
I see how much research we do on this show, folks. I don't remember.
It went from USA, I believe.
It might have been USA, because I know you're right. It was on a TV channel at one point, but I don't remember if that was USA or Sci-Fi before it went on to Hulu. I know it went on to Hulu because for a while there, it was exclusively on Hulu. And I was like, oh, fuck, I want to watch this. I don't want to pay for Hulu. Fuck. And then it went on to the network. But this was back 2012. We're talking. So we're coming up on like the 10-year anniversary of it rebranding as an actual wrestling. I don't want to even say wrestling promotion because it's part of WWE. And tell that to every single fucking mark who over the last 10 years like, well, NXT is the best fucking promotion, but it's not WWE. Fuck you. It's part of WWE.
Yeah, Brandon.
We've had that argument numerous times in this show.
Right.
Yeah, there's WWE logos all over the NXT product. But yeah, it's not part of WWE.
Whatever.
Fucking marks.
But yeah, it was basically made to be their developmental promotion. It was a lot of cool, weird shit going on down there. In 2014, they started running live event, like premium live event pay-per-views called takeovers, and that was the beginning of the whole. Now we're doing takeovers, and they started putting they had their own
quick piece of trivia.
Yes.
What was the first takeover match?
I can't say because I'm looking at it.
Son of a bitch. I don't remember.
Sami Zayn versus Cesaro.
Yep.
So I've got the card right here for you guys. So I just want to show off this card. This is the very first professional, first NXT show that was in a pay-per-view. It's called NXT Arrival. It was Cesaro versus Sami Zayn. Obviously, Cesaro goes over. Mojo Rawley versus CJ Parker. There's a name that you don't hear much anymore.
Which one?
Mojo Riley.
Yeah. Not
CJ Parker?
CJ Parker. CJ Parker's still running around New Japan.
Yeah.
The Ascension versus
Oh my God.
Too Cool. As in still alive Lawler's son.
Ryan Christopher.
Paige versus Emma back in the time where Paige was Tyler Breeze versus Xavier Woods. Now, if people don't know why that's important, they should probably go over to, Up, Up, Down, Down and find out. And
Some Mark's
some
channel.
Mark shit, right? Actually, it ended in no contest. It was a 35-second bullshit thing. And then the main event was, does anyone remember it?
It was
Seth Rollins.
No. Was that the ladder match?
That was indeed the ladder match.
So it was Pac versus Bo Dallas.
Yes, it was.
Oh.
Yeah. So Pac was crowned. That was his first title reign, I believe. But yeah, that was basically the very first show. It was critically acclaimed, even right off the bat. There was some problems with the actual stream, like everything else when it comes to, running new shows. Streaming's hard. Just ask Josh Jenner or Ring of Honor
ROH.
or it's pretty much anybody who's tried to stream a show live over the internet. But yeah, it was a great, tight show done really well. And that was the standard bearer for years to come. There was really not a takeover that you could say, oh, this was garbage. I can't think of one, at least.
No, I always look forward to
Here comes Fat Man with one. There's like, oh, I didn't like this one.
maybe some of the more recent ones.
Even the more recent ones.
I mean, I'm gonna call them garbage. Yeah, not to NXT standards.
Right. Yeah. But the fact that you say that there's an NXT standard says a lot about them. And unlike a lot of the other main roster shows, in terms of premium live events, they were really tight shows. They were 2 hours, 2.5 hours at most, for the most part. I think that they did a great job of creating this developmental, but it also brought the rise of a lot of cool new stars that may or may not have thrived otherwise. Guys like Xavier Woods, Pac, and even guys like Cesaro, which made it to that like mid card. Sami Zayn, upper mid card. You look at a lot of the earlier shows and the earlier champions of NXT, and they're a who's who of future WWE champions. Of the first 7 champions, 3 of them go on to be either Universal or WWE champion in their career. Big E Langston, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens. Or Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. So if you look at the history that NXT is, we're always looking forward to what's new, what's different, what's coming up, what's going on. Which comes to now. We have a gentleman named Braun Breaker. Is Rick Steiner's kid? Or is it Scott's kid?
Rick.
So you've got basically this man who's a one-man wrecking crew, pretty fucking decent in the ring. You forget that they're still a developmental brand. They're still trying to bring new people up. And if you look at their roster right now, and it's huge, obviously. I'm not going to say a ton of them, especially since they just recently combined the NXT UK roster into them. So there's a bunch of new guys in there that weren't in there originally. But you look at some of the names that are on here that are like, oh my goodness, we've got some really cool talent coming up. But they're still in a rebuilding phase, not too far away from what Ring of Honor was about 2 to 3 years ago, after that mass exodus into AEW happened. So where do you guys see the main stars of NXT right now? Who do you see as main stars?
Breaker. I see Carmelo Hayes. I see Cameron Grimes.
God damn, still never one of mine.
I see Tyler Bate. Those are the 4 off the top of my head. There's probably more.
Jordan Devlin, or whatever he goes by now. Basically a Finn Balor wannabe. The way I look at it, he looks and sounds, well, they're both from Ireland, but he literally looks just like Finn Balor as well. But he's got promise. A couple of the tag teams look really good. Their names escape me right now because I'm not actually watching like I have been. But no, Batman literally named off everyone that I was going to name. Now, well, I'll leave that for news and rumors, but I got something coming up about NXT Halloween Havoc.
I'm shocked that nobody said anybody on the female side. I think Cora Jade's going to be a huge star.
Well, Cora Jade
and
yes.
Toxic Attraction.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe.
Kind of already.
Yeah, they already are, I think.
They just thought when Raquel Gonzalez left, that she would have been one that would have been one to keep an eye on, but she's already on the main roster, so it's good.
Roxanne Perez, which is Roxy.
Right.
She's one of them.
Another guy that you didn't say anything of, obviously being a 2-time Excite world champion.
Joe.
I was waiting for
Joe Gacy.
I was waiting for y'all to say it.
Obviously, Joe Gacy is going to be a huge star. You know, the man works constantly. He's one of the hardest working guys that I know.
And every time I see him on NXT, he has a new faction with him, or he's with somebody new.
The man knows how to work the mic, so that doesn't surprise me all that much.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget that one of the reasons why he kind of fast tracked into NXT and into an NXT contract was that he was the main trainer for Gabe's promotion before it folded Evolve.
How old is
Joe's about my age. So
mid-30s?
Yeah, mid-30s. So he's still got a hell of a career left on him.
Which is odd. They don't usually take people that age. So that's an interesting one.
Yeah. And
that's the age, because I know when we met him, he seemed like he was around your age.
Yeah. I think he's only a couple of years younger than I am. So I would say like 35-ish. But I think that with the way talent has been kind of skewing older in WWE, I don't think that's a problem. Don't forget guys like Owens is about around our age too. You know,
Joe Gacy is 35.
Yeah, there you go. So it's well, they still have Roderick Strong on the fucking.
Owens is 38.
Yeah.
Ben Balor, exactly.
So, Asuka's our age too. You know, there's a lot of people around our age that the mid 30s to 40, because a lot more. I want to say a lot more physiotherapy and the philosophies of working, not being hurt, not working injured, having great doctors and experience in the medical professions helped a lot of that.
And that's what Tommaso Ciampa said on a recent podcast. He said he was debating on bringing it up, but he was like, he expected after his neck injury, he expected to have a big setback, and he didn't. And then when it came time for him to go to WWE, minus the lowering of the travel schedule and all that, he said the doctors up there are grade A, and that they will prolong my career another 10, 20 years.
Right. So it's nice to see that. It's nice to see that they are taking care of the talent and whatnot. So here's my other piece of this, and this is where I want to like push us towards. let's say there's another call up set. Hayes, Grimes, Braun, they all get called up.
Ooh.
SmackDown or Raw. Okay. Who do you see coming back to NXT that isn't currently a part of the WWE infrastructure? And I want to, not like Bray Wyatt, not like, somebody who's been released due to, like a major star that if they came back, they would be thrust in the main event or upper mid card of Raw.
I can see Malachi Black coming back and going to NXT, or Aleister Black. Sorry,
I think he's above it.
You do?
I think he's above it.
Maybe with the correct creative, yes, but he excelled so much more in NXT than he did when he was on the main roster.
Yes, but I think that was because of the booking.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now the creative is different. He definitely could be, I guess, thrusted up there.
I think they won't put him in NXT because he wants to be with his wife.
That's also true. Yeah,
that is true. Yeah.
Who was there was a former WWE superstar who can come back and be a part of NXT?
Yeah. That would give a star power, but it wouldn't be like a huge, like, oh, he stepped down into NXT. I have a name right off the bat.
Shoot.
Tyler Breeze.
Yeah. True.
Absolutely.
Where's he at now?
Nowhere.
Is he even doing indies or no?
He's doing random bookings, if at all. He's still doing flatbacks, and he's basically running his channel, and he's got so many different other side hustles that he's not hurting for money.
Fandango's back running in the indies.
Fandango just worked a show up here in I say up here, up where Fat Man is. Near it was Immortal Championship Wrestling, and
I saw him. It was actually popped up one of my Facebook reels. It was him wrestling at that show.
Yeah, and great group of guys up there.
I hate to be that dick.
You're going to be that dick, though.
I don't see Tyler Breeze adding star power to NXT.
I think he would be.
He came back the first time. Him and Fandango boosted the tag team division really well.
I disagree. They were afterthoughts down there too.
I 100% disagree about that, but I think Tyler is they trust Tyler above pretty much anybody else. Do you know how I know that? Who did Liger face when they brought him in?
Your mom.
So,
what about the guy that never got eliminated from Royal Rumble?
Curtis Axel? I think Curtis isn't even working anymore, is he?
Not WWE.
Well, he was an agent in training, but they didn't offer him the job.
Right. They bounced his ass. I wouldn't be against seeing him wrestle again. I still find it crazy that IRS's kids were the big stars of WWE and not Kurt Henning's kid.
Yeah.
But how bad is it that Kurt Henning's kid was the only Paul Heyman guy that really didn't get over? You had Paul Heyman in your corner, you still couldn't get over.
Yeah, that's not good. You couldn't do it with Pac because Pac's made it too big over in AEW. So there's no way you can put him back in the NXT.
Actually, yeah. I think he'd do it.
Pac?
Yeah.
Think he'd go back? Seriously?
Yeah.
He's already.
Well, I'm not saying I think he'd go back. I'm thinking he'd be a good fit for NXT.
Oh, okay.
I've read that he actually has had expressed interest in going back. But then again, so is half the AEW roster. So
I think
we're missing the biggest one, guys.
What's that?
Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah. I mean, once always. Do you see anybody from the Indies going over into NXT anytime soon?
You're baiting me because you know what I'm going to say.
Okay, go ahead.
Sean Carr.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Sean Carr deserves to be in AEW or WWE 100%.
I think the Black Wall Street would make a good stable out of NCW.
That's a good one. What about I'm not even gonna say it. I don't want to.
I mean,
I was gonna say anyone on the GCW roster you might want.
I will fucking punch you in the face. I mean, there's another guy I'm thinking of.
There's a ton of them for me.
I mean, who's kind of been a mainstay on this show? Floppy Ankles.
Oh yeah, well, I think he would be a great trainer. I don't think he would. I think his best years are past him now. I think he's doing a better job in training. I think he's doing a great job running the what's his face's school down in Atlanta.
Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Somebody that will go back to WWE that'll be perfect for NXT would be Colin Delaney.
That would be another huge one. Yeah. Bring Cheech with him. I can think of a bunch of other people like Jordan Oliver. Kid Bandit would be a great new face.
I mean, Orange Cassidy's on the Indies.
Wow. Fuck you. Alex Zane wouldn't be, although I don't know if he's going to ever actually go back. Kevin Blackwood, even though he's been putting his fingers in AEW here and there. There's a lot of good talent out there.
I can see like Chase Owens or El Phantasma possibly translating to a WWE wrestler.
Anyone who's in New Japan Strong right now, I could easily see walking into NXT without any question.
Tom Lawler, easily.
Tom Lawler is a big one. Yeah.
What about what's his name? Who was there? Well, you got Darren, which is now Fred. I forget what his name is.
Fred Rosser.
Yeah.
Oh, Darren Young.
Yeah, Darren Young. And then you have your all's favorite, Leo Rush.
No, it's Sleazy.
Fuck that dude. Fuck that dude. I haven't said that in a while. Fuck Leo Rush.
Damian Sandow.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of interesting talent that's out there that would absolutely fit in a rebranded or just
Nick Aldis.
Nick Aldis is above NXT.
Yeah, he would be main roster
without question. Would he be top tier, beating Roman for the title? No, probably not. But definitely make that
US on him.
Him and R-Truth, the clash of the two-time NWA World Champions.
Absolutely. I would watch the shit out of that.
But there's no Asians. So.
Right.
Well, we can make a referee Asian.
I mean, I'm not against that. I mean, put Sarai in a ref uniform, we're in.
There is, I think, one Asian referee in WWE, so you don't even need to do that.
Okay, well, that works then. But yeah, that's NXT right now. We're hoping to see some cool things out of there. But that's pretty much it. We're going to go into news and rumors, but we'll take a quick break. So we'll see you after this. All right, folks, we're back. So Fat Man was driving his ass off. So that means somebody else picked up the slack. And for once, it wasn't me. The main mark of the show has decided to step up and do news and rumors. Don't fuck it up like I do.
I can't promise.
And let's see how he fucks it up.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. First, mentioned the other day about the main event at Clash. I mean, God damn it, I already screwed it up. Crown Jewel is going to be Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns. It stems from the podcast Impulsive that Roman Reigns was on this past week, where when he walked off the air, Logan Paul said he could beat him, and then that got translated back to Roman, and they had a press conference. Roman pushed him because Logan Paul said, "Why don't you say something and have Paul Heyman stop being your mouthpiece for you?" So, yay, that's the main event we're looking at for November's pay-per-view, premium live event of Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia.
Damn it, I was close. I said Tyson Fury on this show.
Yeah, you did. You did. War Games to be.
Wait. Hold on.
Fabian wants to talk about this garbage.
You gotta let this shit breathe and let people talk about it. I honestly think the Prince of Saudi Arabia wanted that match, and that's why they're doing it.
I can see that.
Why though?
Because Logan Paul is such a pop icon.
Question mark? But I can see. So for the fucking people bitching about it, there's reasons, and that's probably why when people are paying you billions of dollars for a match,
I mean,
just have a fucking 30-second match.
Logan Paul likes suicides. Saudi Crown Prince likes to make things look like suicides. I mean,
it all ties together.
It all ties together.
My God. Wow. Okay. Also,
and we're off Twitch, folks. No.
Also announced this week, War Games to be brought back at Survivor Series in Boston. And it is not going to be SmackDown versus Raw. This is going to be more storyline driven. So already I'm into it, because you're going to get a bunch of all-stars to go against the Bloodline. That's how that's going to pan out.
I love it personally. I think it's a great alternative to what a shell of Survivor Series was. It wasn't.
And one thing is that Heavy G, when he was on the show while you were in rehab, mentioned about this coming back. Possibly, it would be a cool thing. He had no inclination that actually would happen, but he did say it would be a cool thing to see it on the main roster.
Meanwhile, Fat Man's over here jacking it underneath his little blanket there.
You said Boston. Of course I did.
Right.
Oh, there we go. We're off Twitch again.
And we're off Twitch. Oh, we're on OnlyFans here.
So speculation of what it is. Bloodline versus
Drew and company.
Drew, Roman, not Drew. Kevin Owens. Probably they're going to throw Logan Paul in.
Like every person he's faced in the last.
Now, is it going to be 4-on-4 or 5-on-5?
I would assume it's 4-on-4.
No, I would assume 5-on-5 because it's traditional Survivor Series numbers.
But War Games is 4-on-4.
War Games is traditionally 5-on-5.
It was original. Okay. Traditionally, or NXT traditionally.
Well, this is on the main roster, so we can throw the NXT traditionally out the window.
Well, you can also throw WCW out of the window too.
Okay, it was NWA, but okay, whatever.
Oh, fuck you.
So I think if it's 5-on-5, it's a Bloodline with Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
McIntyre, Owens, Rollins, Paul, and somebody else.
Randy Orton?
Braun. I think
no.
Braun would make a good.
But it makes no sense.
Yet. We've got a long time before we get to Survivor.
Yeah, 2 months.
2 months. But a lot can happen in 2 months.
That's 16 weeklies and a pay-per-view. What, you can't book Braun to be a potential challenger to Roman Reigns in 16?
We also forgot Brock.
It's 2 pay-per-views. You're right.
Oh, Lesnar. There you go.
We forgot Brock.
Lesnar.
Yeah, I don't think Brock would do it.
Now, I want to fantasy book it because I have a choice to do it. Yep, I'm Mark. I can do it. Have The Rock choose the team to go against Roman Reigns.
That ain't happening. Mm-mm. You and your love for The Rock to come back and beat Roman Reigns. It's never happening. You know what's going to happen here. It's going to be they're all going to get in there, and Roman's going to beat the shit out of all 5 of them and pin them stacked on top of each other.
That's your fantasy booking.
No, that's the real booking. It's the shit I hate.
Okay.
Could throw Edge in there just cause.
Yeah.
You can throw a lot of people in there.
So this is kind of interesting. I found this out on Twitter today.
Ooh.
WWE Easter eggs were shown throughout the Extreme Rules vignette, not vignette, but the picture of Rollins and Riddle. And one was the White Rabbit. Another was a bunch of fireflies. And a couple other things. I know their match is now going to be contested inside of a fight pit. So they're going to have an octagon set up in Philadelphia.
Dog Kennel from Hell is coming back.
So you sent this, and I'm looking at it, and I don't see a White Rabbit. I see a steel chair. I see a cauldron. I see a window. And I see a lamp.
I see what you're calling fireflies, but they look like butterflies to me.
Yeah. Just ironic.
I think marks are going to mark on this.
Well,
like, I say that. I think Bray Wyatt is coming back, but in that instance, that specific thing,
they're reaching. It would make sense though because of the Rollins and Bray feud in the past.
I agree with Fatman on this one. I think it's a little bit of reaching there, but here's the reality. And I think you've alluded to this before. And I think more needs to be talked about the whole Bray Wyatt thing coming back there. That's not the only thing that's been shown and Easter egged here. But here's the other thing is that this hasn't been the first time WWE has Easter egged a few different things happening in the background of things. You know, the whole thing with Dexter Lumis is a great example of that. So
don't get me started on that fucking stupid ass fucking thing. The Miz.
You don't watch weekly, so you don't know.
It's stupid.
The kidnapping thing was stupid, but
it's still going on that angle.
The beginning of it was really cool. Let me just put it that way. The first couple of Raws that happened where it was just
and bad.
I'm not saying it's gotten great. I'm just saying that when they started, it was an interesting way of dealing with the character. That's all.
Okay. Next rumor or next news note is Sheamus wants his old music back. He wants his old theme music back that he used to come out to.
It's the shameful thing, Lobster Head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That one or the one he had with like the bar.
I didn't know it was the Lobster Head one.
Oh, I like that one better.
Yeah. And let's see. Oh yeah. Tony Khan is criticized for not being a good leader. No shit in the AEW locker room. We've talked about this how many times?
Look at me.
Yep.
Literally every fucking week.
All right, Ciampa. Keep it going.
That's Barry Horowitz.
No, well, that's true.
I have to give him Horowitz on that.
That is true. Bailey is being criticized for getting cheap heat.
What? Wait.
What?
That's what they're saying.
Who's
I guess
still getting
first
cheap
of all,
heat.
No. Fuck this asshole. Whoever thought this was a fucking bullshit fucking story here. Fuck that dude. Fuck that dude in particular. Go on.
It had to be Meltzer. This makes no sense.
I
Heel's job is to get cheap heat.
And if it's to make it dig her own hometown, then yeah, go for it. Which she did. She made a comment how the Sharks.
How dare you get the crowd to boo me, to boo you when you're a heel? That's got my brain just fucking hurt.
Yeah,
it hurt.
It reeks of Meltzer. I will say that.
One thing is that I'm probably finding rumors that you would have probably omitted.
Because they're ridiculous.
Yeah, he ends up skipping some garbage.
Like legit, I'll write it down, and then while we're doing it, I look at it because that's fucking stupid and wasting my time. I'm not gonna fucking.
I kind of went the opposite way and went with that, even though it was a waste of time. AEW is chilling on their rankings.
Is what?
remember how they always rank people on who's got the better record and all that?
Yep.
They're not going to put as much emphasis on it now.
They haven't from the start.
They haven't
for like the first month. They were like, wins and losses matter, and then random people were winning one match and then getting title shots.
You know what?
Good.
Here's the thing, and that was happening. The most obvious example of that was when Moxley got a title shot, and Tony Khan basically had to jump around and say, well, this is why he was blah, 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 blah. And I bet you at that moment, he was like, we're not going to fuck around with this.
Fuck this.
Yeah. He's number one contender because I
remember watching like a Dynamite from like 2020. It's like, this guy gets a TNT title shot. AEW singles record 0-3. Why are you getting a title shot? Like Tony Nese 2 weeks ago got a TNT title shot. Why?
Yeah, that was shocking to me. Although that's another one you could bring back in NXT. Tony Nese.
Yeah. Anybody who was on 205 Live, that first generation.
Yeah.
TJ Perkins.
Not Enzo.
Not Enzo.
No.
It said first gen.
AEW's reaction to Cody leaving was more of a, hey, we have more opportunity now compared to, oh, well.
I don't get that either.
It's AEW. There's not much to get from it. Sorry, Brandon, but I'm just saying.
He storylined himself out of world title shots.
Yeah.
So.
He worked himself into a shoot?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Getting more opportunity. I think I kind of understand. We're like, okay, one of our big guys is leaving. It's time for someone to step up.
That's what the mindset.
Okay, if that's what it is, but like, I don't know. That's weird.
Who's going to grab that brass ring?
AEW is due to the suspension to Kenny Omega, we will not see him at Triple Mania.
That makes no sense.
Why the fuck not?
Why not? It's a Triple A show.
They're not allowing the part of the suspension is they're not allowed to do any other promotions.
What?
Yeah, you didn't hear that? They're not allowed to have any features or.
Says who? Tony Khan? You're the one that says you can work anywhere. So now.
I guess
he's suspended from AEW, but now he can't work another promotion because he's just suspended from another company.
So legally speaking, he probably can do that. If the way the contract was written. Wow.
Ow.
If the way the contract was written was that you're allowed to go to any promotion with permission. And Tony Khan was like, you can go here, whatever, do it. If it's written in that way, yeah, he can revoke that permission. They are under contract with AEW.
Okay.
WWE.
It's stupid though. I just want to also say it's stupid.
Yeah. They're hiring several high ranking positions, including customer, the SVP, which is in charge of customer growth, acquiring new global sets of fans, re-engaging known fans.
WWE.com/jobs.
Careers.
Yeah.
It's careers, man. I've sent you the link before.
Whatever. Jobs, career, same thing.
They're also hiring a VP of live events.
VP of live events?
Mm-hmm.
So that makes no sense. They fired Jeff Jarrett and then hired Road Dogg for that position. What happened to Road Dogg?
He went up, or he didn't want it.
The one that he went up when everything got all juxtaposed.
Maybe everyone took a step up.
No, yeah. But they hired Road Dogg after Vince.
Yeah, but
a lot of stuff's happened.
But But that was before Triple H moved up. That's before Shawn Michaels moved up. There are a lot of things that slowly happened that trickled up. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're just looking for another VP. Honestly, you know who the first person that comes to mind for VP of live events? Fat Man, you worked with him.
Oh.
Sanjay Dutt.
He's an AEW.
I know, but he would be absolutely perfect for that role as an executive. As for what was the other one?
SVP. I'm not sure exactly what that is.
Senior Vice
President.
There was something for customer growth. There's
that's when they're in charge of. The senior vice president is expected to increase customer growth, acquire new global fans, and re-engage known.
I can think of another big person that would easily fit into that role and would almost certainly excel in it. Colt Cabana.
So re-engaging old fans is you got to change your creative. So he has nothing to do with that, really. What was the other one? To
acquire new global fans.
Okay, that will take some work.
But
you just have to pretty much do a lot of shit ton of PR in different countries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and plus the beginning of WWE Europe will also help that. Or NeXT.
Maybe.
MJF says he would not wrestle in NJPW for $1 million. I call bullshit.
Of course he wouldn't. He's a goddamn heel.
BS.
Exactly. It's $1 million. You can change how you would act for $1 million.
I think what Sleazy's saying is he's saying it because he's a heel.
Oh.
Not that he won't do it for $1 million.
I'm going to say this right now. Never, ever, ever believe anything MJF says in any interview anywhere.
That's true.
The man bleeds kayfabe.
Yeah. Which would be really good. WWE.
I mean, well, when you really are who you portray, is it kayfabe?
Good point.
X-Pac says he will only return in a Royal Rumble, or Sean Waltman said he will only return to wrestling if it was a Royal Rumble.
Cool.
I got a kick out of this, and this is another pointless rumor that doesn't need to be on it, but I'm going to say it anyway because I want to get your all's laugh. Tony Khan says he rarely disappoints fans with bookings.
See, you've made a fatal flaw in that fucking statement there, sir. You're talking to people that aren't fans of AEW, apparently.
I just wanted to see what his expression was going to be. That's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So,
while Fat Man's doing, and by the way, if you guys are just listening to our show on Spotify or wherever you get your wonderful podcast, we do this live, unedited, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Chip. So don't forget to join us on there if you desire to get our live, raw, uncut bullshit. We do it, but this is a great time to enjoy our video version of us.
Tell them what happened just now. Tell them what happened.
I'm not going to. They'll have to find it on Twitch if they want to know.
Fuck Tony Khan.
Oh, fuck you, sir. Fuck, you're not even a fan of AEW, so it doesn't.
At least I fucking watched the product. You fat fuck. Fuck you. You piece of shit.
My God doesn't give a shit about you.
This is why we're doing a bullshit show, because you don't watch the fucking product. So fuck you. Fuck Tony Khan.
If he doesn't disappoint you.
I guess now added a couple more things to end the show with that, man. Marie Kanellis
doesn't disappoint the fans with his booking.
Yeah, that was I sorry I had to, because I wanted to see your reaction. It's the only reason I did that, and it was priceless. Maria Kanellis is about her Impact contract's about to expire. So what's her next move? Is she going to re-up with Impact?
If Mike If Mike Bennett signed with Impact, she'll
Stay
She'll
wherever
stay.
Mike goes.
yeah.
WWE advertising edge for hardcore or Extreme Rules. Sorry.
Hardcore Justice.
Yeah, they were both in Philadelphia. Extreme Rules. Not really shocking to anyone.
We'll probably face Finn Balor and some.
Connection of. No, it'd be him and versus Dom.
Yeah, there you go. So this is
Dom was sub in the
I
corner.
already got it. Him versus Dom with a mommy on a pole match.
Fuck you. Go fuck yourself.
And that, Tony Khan, is how you fucking book a match.
So Ric Flair.
God.
God damn it. Go home.
It's Man of the Ring. No, it's said that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is going to wrestle a match, and it now has Ric Flair thinking about, maybe I could do another one. Not together. But
If I were Conrad Thompson, I'd be so pissed right now.
yeah, because you spent all that money to get all that for the last match, and he wants to do another one. Yeah, I would too.
Of course he wants to do another fucking one. You saw the money he made from this one.
WWE employees are set to see more holiday time off this year.
Good.
That was a good feel-good story right there. It's like Triple H is actually starting to listen to people's grievances over the past years, and that's good to see. Young Rock season 3 is in production now. If you all haven't had a chance to watch Young Rock, it is a really funny show.
Mark.
I've never watched it, so I can't.
Susie doesn't know what TV shows are.
Really?
I mean, wait. He does,
Network
but
has-
I think the most recent TV show he watched was Frasier.
No, Sopranos.
Actually, it's a lie. It's Breaking Bad. But still.
Good.
Oh, Better Call Saul, technically.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So I'm recent. I'm up to date.
So this is what I was beating around the bush about earlier with NXT. So NXT, Shawn Michaels had Carmella Hayes show up, had Solo Sikoa show up, and Solo Sikoa had to relinquish his belt because he was not of proper sanction to be part of the last week's match. But it's kind of cool because Shawn sat there and Sikoa gave it without a problem. And Shawn wished him luck on SmackDown and his future endeavors with the company and said, look, I've been there before. I've had to relinquish my belt before. I know how it feels. And it was kind of a really cool scene between him and Sikoa. And then, of course, Carmelo expected him to just hand the belt over to him. No, there's going to be a 5-person ladder match at Halloween Havoc for the North American title.
So they took the title off of Carmelo to book a ladder match?
Okay, so
I'm here.
Because Shawn lost his smile again.
So they booked the match with him and Sikoa. Sikoa wins. The next week, it's like, well, technically, I shouldn't have booked the match. Therefore, I have to strip you of the title?
Here's my question. And this is going to sound stupid, so forgive me. Are all NXT shows live now? Or are they still doing the batch tapings on them?
I think it depends.
Yeah, I think they're live on USA.
They're live, I think.
Okay.
This whole scene was earlier in the day.
Some are taped.
Well, that's my big question. So if they weren't planning on calling Solo up originally, that would make sense to do it that way because obviously they don't want to keep the title on if they're going to go with him full time on SmackDown or wherever he's going to be. But if it was all live that entire point, then it makes no sense.
I think your first point is the one they're trying to get across. Like maybe it was a contingency plan if he didn't make it on SmackDown and didn't get that big of a pop, but since he did, They're probably going to leave him up there.
That's
No.
possible. No. That's possible.
I think they just booked it shittily.
That's possible too.
I mean, yeah, that's like left hand didn't know what the right hand was doing at that point, because don't forget,
Tony Khan, that's how you not book an angle.
thank God Fat Man is here to tell Tony Khan, the owner of $1 billion wrestling company.
New segment on the show. I'm going to tell Tony Khan how to book shit. And the only reason it's $1 billion wrestling company is because it's fucking daddy's money.
I was going to say that, okay?
Okay, Trump Jr.
Wow.
All right, so
You don't got the money, your daddy does.
so in lieu of Fat Man's paper toss, I'm just going to throw the whole book.
I love it. Chip, put yourself over.
You can find me on the Best Darn Sports Show Period 2 along with Fat Man. We record Wednesdays now. We're changing Wednesdays till 9:30. And we're going to be going over some football this week, some college football upsets, President's Cup for the golf that's coming up this weekend. So you can also find me on Twitter at the Sports Guru 728.
Cool. Fuck Ryan, because he's still in fucking rehab.
He
Didn't
said he
give
was
us an
going
update, by the way.
He said he was
Yeah.
going to break out, but
Yeah, well, fuck him. Fuck his account on TikTok.
he's so big he could just Kool-Aid man his way fucking out of there.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
he chooses not to, but he still makes TikToks at tiktok.com/RyanBuckGotch. You can also find him on Reddit. Fuck Reddit. But he's there at r/the wrestling show. You can find him floating around in the ether and Reddit. I'm at TWS Sleazy.
Excuse me, TWS Fat Man.
The show is at Sleazy Fat Man on Twitter, on Instagram, and because I finally fucking fixed this, on TikTok at Sleazy Fat Man as well. Find us there. Also find us at facebook.com/Sleazy and Fat Man. You can find our show as well as every other show at the Gear Network at Gear Network, GERE network.com. You can find our show every Saturday morning, 8 a.m., wherever you find your wonderful podcasts. Make sure you download them. Make sure you, if you're doing it on Apple or Spotify, make sure you rate our podcast, please. It really helps us out to do so. Am I missing a plug? I feel like I'm missing a plug.
OnlyFans.
Onlyfans.com/The Wrestling Show. I think that's it then. So with thanks to Chip running, I think for the first time ever, News and Rumors. So,
Yes.
And the last time.
oh, fuck him. Fuck that motherfucker for Sleazy.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
This is The Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Peace.
Fuck Dave Meltzer because we didn't say it. So fuck Dave Meltzer again. Fuck Kenny Omega. A hot dog's not a sandwich. A sub is not a sandwich. Tony Khan, listen. Come here. You have been disappointing fans with your booking for years. So to come out here and say that your stupid ass Mark fans like your booking, which is true, that they're stupid ass Mark fans. And you're a bitch. You're on coke. And your daddy's
Allegedly on coke.
a cola, and your daddy's money is somehow getting lost on not only this, but the Jaguars also. So
I was
there you
waiting.
go. There you go. See? Fuck you, Tony Khan.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun. I'm the pain in the game. The blood shedding your name. When there's nothing to gain, I'll
preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.